chatting to him. He's just chatting to him on the bench.
I wonder if I'll get away with it.
No. You man aren't deep in it. He was going to bring on Salah, yeah?
Look how much space is on the right-hand side, you man. What is this?
Oh, my.
They're trying to get him sacked.
I'm done, bruv. I've got kids, bruv. It's a Friday. Why am I doing this? I'm done. Bye, man.
Listen. Nah, it's a wrap. Put the fries in the bag. By the way, just let you know.
Brother, oh my goodness. No, man. He's looking right across the line. Dimwit, bro. Oh my God.
Cal's crashing out.
Bobby, put someone right. Oh my God. For the life of me.
No, man, fully crashed out. Hey, man, he was at home just watching the game. Man forgot he was definitely on coffee.
For me, you man.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen. Why is it so hot today? Welcome to another stream. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. Please, every single one of you guys right here and right now, please like and subscribe. Keep getting stuck in the chat. Keep letting us know your opinions. We're here to talk about Liverpool Football Club. Just before we went live, obviously United, basically are going to sign Tielemans, which possibly frees up the Joao Gomes transfer. So, yeah, big up to you all.
Sorry, Hassan. Do you think it? I don't think it affects the Joao Gomes deal.
Can I do my intro?
They're not the same type of midfielder.
I'm going to ask you about it, I promise. Can I just finish the intro?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, go for it. Go.
What if we don't want to talk about Joao Gomes, though?
Go for it, Hassan. I'm not going to be petty.
I appreciate you, Callum. Thank you so much. I've never interrupted your intro on Kopish ever. I've never done.
You sit there and you laugh. You sit there and laugh and make noises about it. What are we doing there?
I can't even deny that.
Well, maybe if your intro wasn't so awkward at times, we wouldn't fucking laugh.
You guys have made it awkward. It's never awkward. No one else had an issue until you guys.
Okay, really? You wanna go there? I'm gonna be Callum and Kopish, okay? Watch this. So the show starts, yeah? This is us on Kopish. The show starts. Tielemans has been signed for Man United, which now means that the Joao Gomes transfer is possible. Liverpool looking like a mess right now. Do we think Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes can solve this mess? Sit back, enjoy, relax. It's your favorite show of the week. It's the Kopish collab.
Up on the tables or what?
Oh yeah.
Play a video.
So go on, tell me how am I meant to introduce the show then, guys? What do you? Because I'm here for criticism and for making myself better. So
just do it more natural, without staring into the soul of the people.
Where else am I meant to look? I'm addressing the audience. Where else am I meant to look?
You just stare into their soul too much.
I don't know if you could blink sometimes during it. It come a long way.
It's like 10 seconds I'm speaking for. Can I not just look in the camera?
Yeah, you don't even blink though. That's why the audience is scared. We need you to blink, blink just to know that you're all right. Drifty doesn't have you, kidnapped because you don't want Nunes back at the club.
Wow.
I mean, based on what we found out on Jamie's show on Thursday, getting kidnapped by Drift doesn't sound like the worst fucking thing in the world with the life he lives. Yeah. Christ.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
he's gonna get you salmon for breakfast and all that as well. Yeah, you be eating good, low key. You get me? Drifty's cat is out here eating tuna and stuff, bro. Why is your cat
eating me, bro? Cat's eating better than me.
Why is your cat eating tuna, buddy? Why is your cat eating tuna? That's just, big up Drifty. Anyway, let's just get into it. The Curtis Jones topic as well. Guys, we've got 400 people in here. Matt is on the way. He's actually made it to the Monday show, so that in itself is an achievement.
Well, he hasn't yet. He hasn't
Yeah,
yet. He's supposed
he's
to.
gonna make it, inshallah, in like 15 minutes, less than 15 minutes, you know. But we've still got Tom to carry the stream anyway. So we've got also Curtis Jones to enter. So please like and subscribe now. What topic shall we start with, guys? I'm democratic today.
I mean, I'm slightly confused as to what Jamie Phillips is doing in the chat because
Oh, you don't know. So Jamie's basically said he's going on a quote unquote spiritual retreat this week, whereby he's not going to make any crude jokes, he's not going to say any innuendos, and he's going to cut down on the swearing and aggressive behavior. So I said I'll give it till Tuesday 3 p.m. until that wears off. What do you guys reckon?
That's not gonna last. He's done this before. It's not gonna last.
What-
He said,
what you-
he said, I'm not gonna. Jamie, you've done this before, bro. You've said the whole, I'm not gonna swear. I'm not gonna get angry. I'm not gonna insult people. I'm not gonna make any crazy sexual jokes. It lasts like 2 days, bro.
That's what I said.
accept who
I said Tuesday 3 p.m. What you guys said?
Yeah, just accept
mean-
who you are at this point.
Has he got shows?
It's true, though. Am I lying? Just accept who you are.
You
You're gonna
can't
stop here and
change
tell
who
me
you
Jamie
are,
Phillips
bro.
gonna stop swearing and we're supposed to believe it? Come on, man.
Well,
Yeah.
he's got a stream penned in for 4:30, which is literally called Liverpool's transfer dumpster fire. I'd love to see the positive spin on that one. You know, I don't think he makes it to Tuesday.
You
Yeah,
might be
I
right.
don't-
I didn't realize you got a stream. I'm gonna be listening to that while I'm driving. Yeah, I'm gonna anything. I'm just gonna be like, oh, Jamie, you messed up.
All it's gonna take is like Curtis Jones to Inter Milan. Here we go, and then Jamie Phillips is live on his channel, just
Yeah, it's gonna be a
insulting,
crash. It's
cussing,
gonna be a crash out.
bringing Nunes back like stealing dinner from Tunisia. What? bro, I think bringing Nunes back has got to be the worst 48 hours I've had on this platform in this summer. That for me was worse than keeping Slot. Like that would be just a spit in the face. So
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, it'd be bad.
I'm gonna go that far. Me and Nunes go that far. Yes, if we do go that far. Now, what topic shall we? Callum, can you decide what topic to start with? Because you've done this longer than all of us. What should we start with?
Let's start.
So we
with
can
Kurt.
speak about
No,
like
I guess
Tielemans and the Gomes thing.
Yeah, let's do Joao Gomes and Tielemans and all that stuff.
Okay, you asked the question. Let me tell you why. I'm gonna be objective about this. Andre Santos, Tielemans, both went to Man United. Objectively speaking, they're not gonna sign Joao Gomes because the third profile either needs to be an ultra defensive guy or an ultra offensive guy, because they haven't replaced Casemiro yet. So the one that they sign now must be like a destroyer DM. Because if I'm going to be objective about it, I don't think Mainu and Tielemans fit in the same midfield without a defensive player next to them.
I agree.
That's
That's
why I
why.
don't think the plan is
that's why
to play
I think
them
That's
together.
the
though.
objective reason why. Like I can see them signing Manu Kone now. It's a possibility, but I don't see them signing Joao Gomez.
So the reason why I say that it's more likely that they do sign a Joao Gomez and I hate to say it, Manu Kone is because I think Tielemans and Kobe Mainu, they are not the same player, but they are a very similar profile. So I don't think, as you just said, I don't think they play together. But I think one of the two play, and then I think one of them plays next to Santos, and then the other one will play next to the new signing. So I think Santos and Kobe Mainu will be the backup choices, and I think Yuri Tielemans and someone else will be the starting 11, and then obviously Bruno in the 10. So I don't think it stops them signing someone else. Plus they lost Casemiro. I think Mason Mount will probably be Bruno Fernandez's backup or someone across the front three if he's still there. I hope we get Manu Kone, but it looks as though Manu might move for him before we do. I genuinely don't even know if we'll sign a midfielder. I'm going to be honest.
I think that the club are really put off by the prices of midfielders this summer, which is their own fault for not acting quickly enough. I think that if they're really fussed about the prices and the value in the market this summer, they need to pivot transfer plans for the year then. Because you can't not give it Iraola anything, but change the operating model for the summer. And rather than go and get, in the typical age range of 21 to 24, all these guys, you might just have to stomach it and go, listen, we're going to have to buy 2 or 3 stopgaps. We might have to go buy a Jared Bowen for the right-hand side because the right guy isn't available yet. We might have to go buy, I don't know, insert 28-year-old defensive midfielder. Might need to go get him for a bit because the guy isn't available yet. Rather than not do anything, get a guy in who can help you in the short term, but isn't going to block you from getting your long-term guy in if they become available.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the way that the model has to operate in now, rather than we can't get the guy we want long-term.
Can I tell you why that's dumb, Tom?
Right, okay, why is that dumb?
Because you say they're put off by the prices of midfielders. It's not going to go down.
I know.
This is not like gold, where it's like it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up. It's not like gold, bro. It's like if now Mateus Fernandez being sold for 85 million, if we like a player next summer, we're going to have to pay 70, 80 million. I'm going into the complete different approach than you, Tom. I'm saying, let's sign the guy that's the next guy up. Like, who do we think is going to be the next?
Buadi.
Yes. Go pay 60, 70 for Buadi and bet on potential. I'd rather bet on potential than sign a stopgap because the midfielders are going to be just as expensive next summer anyway. With all due respect, as soon as Elliot Anderson moved for 116 million, this notion that suddenly the prices of these midfielders are going to go down, it won't. It's going to keep going up, if anything.
It might not be prices, well, it might be the actual players available.
Could we not do both, Hassan? Could we not get Buadi and Joao Gomez or Buadi and Manu Kone?
You need to sell one. Then.
You can do both, but you're being greedy.
You'd have to sell.
No, I know. But, all right, so the way I look at it, I think you need 6 players for the pivot. I think you need 2 6s.
6?
Hear me out. 2 6s, 2 8s, and then the 5 and 6 choice are your academy / your trainee only type players. That's what I think.
Right.
Okay, I think, especially hear me out. Especially under Iraola, who likes a team that runs a lot, is not frightened to rotate players, etc. Yeah. I think it makes sense. Plus, if you get an injury, you're still covered as well. Okay, but I think right now,
what's your 6 then?
Who would be my 2 6s that I'd bring in?
No, you said you need 6 guys for the pivot. Who are the 6 guys for the pivot in your eyes?
So Sobo and Gravers are 2 box-to-box, and then one of Jones and McAllister. Or you might not even get that. It might be just Nioni. And then you'd have the 3 6s, or the 3 players who can play as a 6. You're on mute, bro.
So Joao Gomez, Buadi, and whoever in the case that you wrote up. Fucking he's not alive. I've not seen proof of life. We can't include Stefan.
He was literally in all the pictures and videos the other day.
And AI's mad nowadays. I need to see him on my TV screen. So I can't talk about Biches's third. My great.
All right. Let's say, for example, Jones, Maka, and Endo go. Then you could bring in 2. And I think you have the balance, because right now we have the quantity, but we don't have the balance, guys. We genuinely don't. And again, respectfully, I'm not buying the notion of Grab playing in the 6. I'm not subscribing to that. I'm really not.
I don't get why you're selling half the midfielders though. Maybe you just want to go full commitment on the rebuild now. And in that case, yes, it makes more sense. To me, I think that's the one thing you can't do this summer. You've got to.
I hear what you're saying.
You've got to keep as many players now because we've lost so much of the core in one go. I don't want to keep stripping it away. And when you're talking about selling Jones and Mac and Endo and bringing guys in,
I don't want to sell Jones. But it feels like the writing's on the wall. With all due respect, I think McAllister's physicality's gone, and with all due respect to Endo, I don't think he's a player that will miss like that.
Are you guys seeing the price tag though for Curtis Jones? 40 million euros. I think I'd rather give him 40 million euros in wages and keep him. Like,
no, I would as well, Hassan. But I'm just speaking based off what it seems like is happening, not what I'd want to keep Jones. But I also believe we have to have balance in the midfield as well, and sometimes you've got to sacrifice a player to get that balance. And again, I'm going to
ask you both a deep existential question to figure out what should we do.
Oh, wonderful! This is going to be great.
What?
That's cheeky. Leave it, Hassan, leave it. We're trying to be better people. Man.
No, I'm not Jamie Phillips. I don't want to be a better person. I'm going to be me. Listen here, you cheeky bastard. You're here to talk about your opinion. So we're not just here to ask you the obvious questions, Mr. Real Madrid shirt in the background. Anyway,
That's all
let
Liverpool
me.
shirts, I'm afraid, mate.
Yeah. We all saw the Alonso shirt. That's why Shawnee cusses you. You're Scouse and you support England, and you ride people's necks. Did you ride anyone's neck in this World Cup? You know, sing England. Yeah. Did you sing? Did you sing the World War song as well?
Great.
Did you sing it?
No,
Riding
this World Cup.
someone's neck.
Yeah, of course you did. 2 World Wars and World Cup, England. I have a video of you singing it, but I'm not gonna
Have
play
you?
it. Yeah, but I'm not gonna play it. It's got
Right.
video. Box Park in London as well. You went to London with
Yeah.
those southern softies.
Mhm.
Anyway, now
Hey.
back to the topic.
What?
Here's-
Where did that come
here's-
from, bro?
Here's the existence. Yeah, but you're not the softie. You're not the softie, Callum. If it don't apply, let it fly, brother.
Cool.
The whole city can't be soft.
Alright,
Now, here's the thing. Here's the existential question. The only way we can answer all these things that you guys are saying is how do we understand what Liverpool are right now? What are we now? What is our plan for this season? What is our objective for this season? And therefore, if we answer that question, we can figure out what to do in this, like, in the coming season. Because if our objective is to challenge for the league and to try compete for the league, then that's different from, you know, getting top 4. Just improving the football, playing better football. What is the this is the thing, and I know you're an Arsenal fan, but rebuild, transition. If we use that logic and that notion, then we will be rebuilding and transitioning forever. Because at some point in time, you're gonna have to rebuild the forward line, and then rebuild the defense, and then rebuild the goalkeeper, and blah blah blah. And it's just a cycle. So for me, if we intend on winning the league, we intend on challenging for the league, we've got to sign a player of age. We've got to sign like a 26, 27, 28, 29-year-old. And when it comes to selling players, I know Callum said, you know, he would sell one of McAllister or Jones. You know, he would personally keep Jones, sell McAllister. But the only thing that worries me is I'm getting rid of the experience. And this, we barely have a squad. We literally barely have a squad. Like, our squad is almost on its bare bones. It's gonna be on its bare bones soon. So if we don't have the team to win or compete or challenge, then I can't expect that of Iraola. I just simply can't.
Yeah, that's fair. Regards to, I think teams.
What are we, Callum? What are we? What's Liverpool doing right now? What's our objective?
Sam, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I don't know, bro, because we're not moving like a team that feels or wants to challenge next season, because our squad is definitely weaker than this time last year, not just with players leaving, but also injuries as well. But then again, I keep on being told we can't do too much because we got to keep continuity. And that's not a dig at you, by the way, Tom, just in general. So for me, I'm like, I'd rather rip the Band-Aid off this summer, knowing that Iraola's got 2 years, rather than do it next summer where Iraola might only have 1 year. I'd rather just go all in now as much as possible. And as Sam said it as well, the prices are bad now, but the prices are probably going to be worse even next summer. So they're only going to get worse. The prices aren't going to plateau or start dropping. They're only going to get worse and more expensive. We see it. Like, we've seen it from last season to this season. Like, Wirtz went for 100-odd million last season, and everyone was like, that's stupid money. Elliot Anderson's gone for over 100 million this season, and everyone's like, that Wirtz deal might not have been as bad as before. So I'd rather make the conscious effort to try and rebuild as much this summer. That way, next summer, if we have to go back in the market, then we don't have to do too much. So again, I hate comparing us to them, but they won the league last season. Arsenal are sitting in a position right now where they've lost Trossard. They could go all in for a Barcola or a Morgan Rogers, because the rest of their squad is in a very healthy situation. Whereas Liverpool, if we had the chance to go and get someone for 120 mil, I know we were close to spending 100 mil on Diamonde. We might not be able to do that because we've got other areas in the squad to fix. So I'd rather try and fix as many areas in the squad this season. That way, next season, hopefully we kick on and let's say we win the trophy or we do really well in the league, even if we don't win it. Or let's say we do win the league. Then next summer we could come to the table and go, do you know what? Elise might want to leave now. We're a destination club for him. Kvara might want to leave now. We're a destination for him. Someone of that ilk might want to leave him rather than going next summer we go, well, you know what? Because we still got to sort out right back. We still got to sort out centre back because Virgil's leaving. We still got to sort out centre midfield because Jones is leaving on a free. I'd rather sort it now rather than just dilly dally on it because Iraola has signed a 2-year contract. There's no inclination that it will stay for longer if he doesn't believe that he's being backed or if he's getting the recognition he deserves for doing the role. Plus, I don't want to have a manager who has to turn water into wine either. I want him to be back properly to give him the best chance of succeeding.
I agree, but then my thing is, I look at that squad, and it had a bad year last year, but a lot of them aren't bad players. How many times in the last season did we go, oh, how good was X, Y, or Z on international duty? Vert looked like a completely different player on international duty because he was playing in a better system under a better manager.
Also playing against lesser opposition as well.
I can hear that argument. My thing is, I look at Iraola. I at least want him to work with this squad as a baseline level rather than he's not even got that baseline. He's just he comes in and half of that's ripped out anyway, and he's getting a group of entirely new players. I want us to add players this summer. 100%. I want to add players this summer, but I don't want to see any sales to any guys who played 1,000 minutes last season. You know, guys that played considerable parts, like 15, 20 games or more. They're the guys that I want to see kept round. So we've got a baseline to work off of. Because the manager said in that press conference himself, he needs a squad. He needs a squad. Because he's not done this before, and it's going to be a challenge for him. So he needs a squad. And I just think if you're in your world, yes, you're getting your rebuild and you're potentially nailing the different players, but are you necessarily adding to the squad? Because then what you're doing, in my eyes anyway, is you're going to have to make 10 signings because you're going to lose 4 or 5 players, and you still need to add the 5 players to fill out the squad. So for me, my case is I would personally not sell anyone, add 5 players to fill out the squad, or however many it is, 4 players to fill out the squad, so you got 25. And then let the season play, because I do still think deep down there's a very good squad and a very good team there. We let the manager figure that out, let the manager assess it, and then you go into next summer and you know exactly where you need to target. Because what's the big thing that we talk about this summer, Cal? How much of the plans changed because we've changed manager out the blue? Because no one expected us to change the manager until the day we changed the manager. So how much of the original plans changed, and how much of groundwork have we lost on certain players because they weren't even in the plans originally? And then we've now moved to get thingy. We've now moved to do what's it called? We've now got a new manager who wants to play a new way. You know, guys like Wharton, who would have been top targets on the slot, they're now potentially not even in the picture. I think for me personally, I see the appeal for doing that full overhaul now. I completely see that. Me personally, though, I would rather fill out the squad this summer with guys that can be here long term, and then let the manager, once he's had a year, boots under the desk, feet under the desk, assess everything that he needs to. He knows next season, and we can be aligned on transfer targets. Because I just think there's so much uncertainty and upheaval in the club right now. You run the risk of really cocking it up.
All right, I hear what you're saying, Tom.
Just quickly before you respond, Callum, big up to the Football Terrace for the raid. Big up to Terry. Big up to all of you guys who just joined us as well from over there. Please do like the video on your way in, subscribe, and don't forget to subscribe to Kopish, Tom Little, Sanderson Show, and the Matt One Show. They're all in the description. Please go give them a subscribe as well. So like and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram as well. The link is in the pinned comment. Go ahead, Callum.
I hear everything you're saying, Tom, but even when you say things like sell 4 players and not sell anyone, one, I don't think we've got the squad space for that. But 2, also, I'm also looking at some of the players in the squad that I just think are surplus to requirements now, and that we seem a little bit too hesitant or too scared to let go of. Like, football's a revolving door, unfortunately. We might not like it, but it is what it is.
So who them guys? Because I'm on board with Endo and Chiesa. They're guys I'm not including because I don't think they played enough. But guys like McAllister, guys like Gakpo,
Simicast as well.
Simicast is a bit of a weird case. He wasn't here last season, but I do think
There's
that
a reason for that.
the reason for that was we had two better guys there in Robertson and Kerkez. I'm not going to disagree with that. We've lost Robertson, and I think there's bigger problem areas to address than left back. I know what Simicast can give me as a backup left back. I would rather not waste my time.
You know what Simicast could give you a couple of years ago? Simicast was at Roma and couldn't even get game time there, bro. There's a reason for that. So, all right, so hear me out on this one, Tom. Yeah. Last season, we went to this season with Frimpong and Bradley as our two right backs. And even then, a lot of people were kind of hesitant saying, is this strong enough? This season, we're just going into it with Frimpong. So significantly weaker at right back. Because I don't know when Bradley's coming back, and I don't know how Bradley's going to come back. Like, and we shouldn't be really putting that sort of pressure on him to come back and perform straight away. Centre back, we're weaker. I know people say, oh, we've signed Jake. Yeah, Jake's not as good as Konate. Leone's coming off the back of an ACL injury, and Gomes isn't reliable injury-wise. So we're weaker at centre-back as well. Left-back, if anyone can sit here and find an argument why Simicast is better than Robbo in 2026, then I'll listen to it, but we're weaker at left-back as well.
I'm not going to argue he's better, but I'll say at this point in time, the difference is really negligible.
It's not.
Yes.
Robbo still leaps ahead of Simicast, in my opinion.
I disagree, Carl. I think Simicast, I know he went on loan and he didn't play. And I don't know what, I don't know what happened at Roma, I'll be real. I didn't kind of follow him. But however, him at least as being a backup, I don't think he's that bad. Because I think if we want to start doing now, okay, let's replace Simicast, that creates another issue. Like, I'm not trying to say we shouldn't sort out our issues, but I don't think it's an issue that
in an Iraola system, objectively, Simicast is better than Robertson. In an Iraola system,
because I feel like with right back, that's more of a problem, like you said, because like you said, Bradley come back with an injury, Frimpong, we don't know how he's going to perform in Iraola system. We don't know whether maybe from a physicality standpoint he might have improved over the summer. We don't know that either, but that's more of a problem area than the left back. I think we can get away with Simicast at left back for one season. Now, obviously, if he's that bad and that horrible, maybe we're going to address it in January or something like that. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like the Simicast situation, I don't think it's a pressing situation now. Like, I think he's okay to be second choice, knowing that. Remember, Kerkez were expecting to kick on now as well. Kerkez started, slow at the start of the season, picked up a bit of form. He was one of the only people in that slot team that looked like he had some fight in him. Now, he still made mistakes, 100%, but in the Iraola system, you're thinking now he's going to improve. Do you get what I'm saying?
So, again, I'm not taking the mick here, but Kerkez gets suspension or Kerkez is injured for a hamstring and we've got to play Simicast 4 games in a row. Are you guys comfortable with that?
Yeah, I actually am.
Yeah. Probably.
I'm not going to sit there and go, oh my God, yeah.
Okay, Callum, based on everything you said, is it unfair of us to expect Iraola to challenge them?
Yeah, it is. Of course it is.
So me and you are probably in the same boat, to be fair.
Yeah, no, I won a title challenge this season, but as of right now, and again, this could change based on what business we do and what business other clubs do as well. As of right now, our squad isn't as balanced as Arsenal's squad. Our squad isn't as balanced as Man City's squad. Man United's squad is starting to look as balanced as ours, if not slightly more balanced, which is a horrible thing for me to say. Like, I can't sit here and be like, yeah, we're going to challenge. Like, we're Liverpool by name, but right now the quality that we have in the squad isn't there. We've lost Salah, and our right wing options right now are Frimpong, Munoz, Rio and Gamoa, and Chiesa.
The guy on the right of this outlay and the guy on the left of this outlay for me tell the story of Liverpool. The one that we're on right now, the overlay, sorry, not the outlay, the overlay we're on right now. The guy on the right now, after everything is like 2 seasons later, the stuff that he did 2 seasons ago was insane, because I can objectively say he was probably like 75%, 80% of the reason we won the league. And the guy on my left signifies like Liverpool 3.0, if you would like this is the people who have to step up in this next season, because if we're gonna put our eggs in any basket, we're gonna have to put it in the Wirtz basket, in the Isak basket. That's who we're gonna have to put it in. I can't put it in the Van Dijk basket anymore because I'm asking too much of him. Because he's too old now. I can't. He's not supposed to be the guy anymore anyway. He's not supposed to be. It's like a Lakers fan expecting LeBron James to do better than Luka. But that's not. But you can't do that now. Even though he's one of the greatest players of all time, you can't. You can't. You know, this is the thing. So, like, I think you want to know the problem with our football club when you assess the Premier League clubs. We're the only club in the gray zone. I feel like next season is either going to be really good for us or really shit for us. I legitimately don't think there's a middle ground. I'll tell you why. I feel like with Arsenal, Man United, with Arsenal, Man City, they're objectively better than us. Yeah. With Chelsea and Man United, it's a question mark. I can't, as things stand today, as of today, 13th July, I can't 100% say we are categorically better than them both and we will categorically finish above them both. I can't. Until we see who the signings are and we make the signings. And this is why the signings are important. Like, when people come and go like, would you pay 110 million for Barcola? Yes, I would. You want to know why? Because if we sign players like Barcola, let's say we sign Barcola, Boaddi, Jed Spence, blah, 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 all of a sudden that pushes us out of the gray area and we at least become the third best team. Therefore, if Arsenal and City go on a bad run, we could be the team that wins the league. But now, as things stand, with all this stuff that is going on at the football club, I don't feel like it's a positive scenario for any of us, really. That's the problem. Because now we're in a position where after Mo's gone, Robertson's gone, McAllister's linked to move away, Curtis Jones is linked to move away, Gakpo's linked to move away. You look at the squad and it's empty. And by the way, this Gakpo stuff is getting dangerous. Why? Because a day ago, and you guys know this because you are all on Twitter, Fabrizio Romano doesn't tweet stuff for no reason. When Fabrizio says something, he's going to quote tweet it a week later when it happens and tell you that he told you that this is going to happen. Once again, he says Gakpo is a priority signing for Tottenham. Once again, he said it. This is not new. This is like the 5th time he's mentioned it this summer about this Gakpo to Spurs thing. So if I'm going to be objective about this, Enzo wanted to go to Real Madrid. They rejected him. If it's McAllister that goes to Madrid, and objectively, Curtis Jones has been linked to Inter Milan all summer. If he leaves and Gakpo goes to Spurs, my squad is down to bare bones. Like, literally bare bones. Like, it's just not good at all.
But Sam, can I say, all right, say for example, we lost Gakpo but replacing him with Barcola. We lost Jones but replacing him with Kone. And we lost McAllister and replacing him with Boaddi. Could you not make the argument that you've actually improved the squad even though you've...
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying we're in the grey area. See?
No,
we agree.
So I get,
Me and you are in complete alignment, by the way. We agree.
Yeah, and again, I hear what you and Tom are saying in terms.
But even then, I can't expect us to win the league. By the way,
no,
even
I hear
in the
that,
scenario you just mentioned. You want to know why? Because these players aren't experienced at it.
I hear it, and this is why I'm not putting that sort of pressure on Iraola to say he's got to win it in his first season. But what I will say, another thing that where I hear where you and Tom are coming from in terms of you don't want to make too much changes summer. I get it, but again, wouldn't it be better to make the change now while we have a fresh manager, so we can have a year to bed in these new players, and then from next season he goes, I've got my core group now, I'm going to go for it, and all I've got to do is add maybe 1 or 2 top players.
Once again, I agree with you. That's why I told Tom I don't want a stopgap, because I feel like here's why when a stopgap makes sense. If I've got everything good, I get 1 stopgap player so I can still achieve my objective anyway. But now I'm at a stage where I feel like a stopgap is pointless, because guess what? The prices of the midfielders aren't going to go down anyway. They're probably going to go up, if anything. Let's sign the players that are potential players anyway, like even like a Joao Gomes, you know, a cheap option like that. Sign players like that.
That's kind of a stopgap, though.
Why is Joao Gomes a stopgap in your opinion, so?
Because
I don't think we'd have to sign that many stopgaps, in my opinion, even if they're not.
So what I call a stopgap, what I call a stopgap is a guy that you buy him now and he can have a positive impact on your first team. And I will use Bowen as an example here, Cal. You could sign Bowen right now and he goes in and starts on the right wing.
I don't represent Bowen, you know. I just rate the player.
You might as well do.
You're the Bowen guy online now. Just you have to.
You buy him, he comes in. and for the next, he's 29 now. You can get him to 32. That gives you 3 years of relatively guaranteed security on the right wing. What that also does, though, is let's say next year Rodrigo becomes available for a cut for like 70 million quid. He comes back from his knee injury. He's fine. It's like he's never left. Comes back. He's available for 70 million quid. You can go and still get him because you haven't blocked yourself off by buying your project for
You're
that
in
position.
cuckoo land, though.
How am I in cuckoo land?
Because Rodrigo will never be available for 70 million.
It was an example. I'm saying your long-term guy could become available, and the short your stopgap doesn't stop you from doing that because, Sam, you know this as well as I do. If Liverpool bought Yankuba Minte this summer for 80 million quid,
God!
And then Ryan became available next summer, and he had a stunning Premier League season. He became available next summer. We wouldn't do it because we've already bought Minte.
Mr. Prices, because since you say it's about the prices and they don't believe in the prices, if Ryan has a really good season at Bournemouth again, how much will they want for him? They want 100 now. Imagine after another good season, 120, 130.
They'll want 100 because that's his release clause.
Stop it. Thomas,
Quick question. I know you guys are talking about like stopgap and how you're saying you would rather squad overhaul now. But what if I said we do the primary of our shopping this window and then we do the rest of our shopping in the following summer? Because I kind of feel like that's what Tom's trying to say. He's trying to say, if we could do some of it now, the bulk of it, but then we do the rest next summer. Because let's say you do it all in one summer, there is still that possibility that if Iraola does get it wrong, and we've made all the bulk of changes in one summer, obviously players don't have experience with bringing in younger players. Imagine if we just like plummet below 5th or 6th, because then you guys would say, do you know what? All right, I understand. We were going to do this, but look what's happened now.
But
We've
Matt,
made all this
that's
change.
the problem with Tom's scenario, actually, not me and Callum's scenario.
Yeah, how's that the problem with my one?
If I do what Tom wants, we could plummet below 5th.
That's what I was going to say. I think
So
we have to improve the
so that comes down to your assessments of the players that you have, though. So maybe I'm being too generous with the player. I think that you'll see a lot of players bounce back under a better manager who
That's what
plays
I think as well.
a more comfortable style of football. If that's the case, I know that the average level of this squad, when they're back to what they were, I'm going to say last year of Klopp, should we say? Not the first year of Slot, that was, Slot took you there and there. The average is about there, which is probably last year of Klopp, first little bit of Slot type thing. If I can get my players back to that level, do you know what I'm looking at there? I'm looking at comfortably the third best team in the league, even with all the signings that other teams have made. And one that's closer to second and first.
But are you still saying to go?
I still think though that you need to add the players alongside it. We need to go into next season
but this
as close to a 25-man squad.
We can't say that about the squad right now because the squad that finished with Klopp and started with Slot, again, RIP, no Diogo Jota, no Luis Diaz, no Trent, no Konate, no Salah, no Robbo. Like, those 6 players, like, they ain't been replaced really. Like, with all due respect, they ain't no, we brought in players, but all right. Again, don't make me go down this road, Tom. Had Frimpong replaced Trent?
No.
So again, just because we brought in a player to cover the same,
I'll agree on that one. Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. Trent. Like, we ain't really replaced some of these players.
That's one example. Yeah.
Luis Diaz hasn't been replaced.
Yep, hasn't been replaced in the market. No, yeah, I agree.
Again, RP.
The strikers have been replaced.
To go to your point, Trent was replaced by Conor Bradley.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't been, man. I know what you're doing there.
Carl, let me say this.
That's your petty side coming out. That's your petty side.
It's not. The Liverpool fans wanted a saviour because Trent left. They propped him up as Conor Bradley is replacing Trent. Tell me I'm lying. That was our fan base. That's what we was on. And then Frimpong was theoretically the backup to Conor Bradley because Conor Bradley was supposed to push on, be the first choice right back, but unfortunately he got injured and obviously again didn't hit form like a lot of our players. So it Frimpong kind of was just supposed to be the second choice right back. It was supposed to be Conor Bradley, bro. Tell me I'm lying, Cal.
No, you're not. But again, we know that shouldn't have been the case. So and again, like Fabinho still hasn't been replaced.
No, he hasn't. That's correct.
And I know people will always go and be like, yeah, but Grav replaced him when we won the league that season. For 6 months, Grav was magnificent.
Yeah.
But if we're looking at Grav's whole tenure at Liverpool Football Club, I can't just look at 6 months and judge his whole tenure by that 6 months.
Quick question. So let's cut you again, Cal. Quick question. You know, we're talking about, Tom saying stopgap. Let me ask you this. Let's say Curtis Jones left today, but we were the ones that bought Yuri Tillman. Would you have been happy with that stopgap? Because he's 29 years old. You know he's not going to be here for years and years and years, but he's got good quality now. Would you have been happy with that? Or would you have been like, nah, we should have went and got, for example, Buwadi or Manu Kone or someone like that?
I'd be.
Would you be annoyed?
Confused by the move. As a footballer,
it's different when you're losing a player like Curtis Jones compared to.
I'm just asking a question, by the way.
I'm on about stopgaps where right now I haven't got a solution. So I want a stopgap potentially for right wing because I think the market's awful for right wing in terms of getting a guy that I could see holding that down for Liverpool for the next 5 years. I don't think there's a guy for that on the market right now. So either what you do is you go get there's 3 options that the club can take. They can either gamble on one of the guys that is supposed to be that, like a Minte or a Conceição, hope they take some leap and become that. I don't think that's a smart thing to do.
That's
the next option they could do is what Hassam says, which I'm not entirely against, but I think it's a gamble of going and getting an 18-year-old, 19-year-old who could be the next big thing. And
No. Just to clarify, my scenario is get Barcola.
No. You were talking about what you would do in certain positions is go get the next up and coming guy type thing, weren't it?
Over
your solution.
Basically, we should have got Esteval, like someone like that. You know, like
buy or something like that. Go find an 18-year-old, 19-year-old.
It just feels like we're taking so many unnecessary risks. Like centre back for me is one of the biggest risks. Right back feels like a risk. Centre midfielder almost feels like a risk, and the attack is just in the shambles at the moment. It just feels like we're taking so many risks that aren't necessary. Like again, people sit there and say we've got 4 centre backs. I don't even like doing this to our players, but I'm just being real. And I know I'm going to get called whiny and bitchy and all those things in the comment. Fairs, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. But our 4 centre backs, where would they rank in the Premier League compared to other teams' 4 centre backs?
Leone's had 1 game, can't rank him. Xhaka hasn't even played a game of football, but you got to look at Xhaka, how Man United fans remember when they got Euro. So
I'm pretty sure Euro played more minutes than Xhaka has.
Yeah. So he's potential. Joe Gomes is my guy, but he's always injured. So you can't trust him, unfortunately. And then you've got an aging Van Dijk who's still of quality, but obviously he's a year older. He's come off the back of a bad season in his standard and off the back of a World Cup that's more minutes under the legs as well. But our centre-back situation is dark.
Dire. And Iraola said that Leone isn't fit as well.
We're going to have to go and bring in some of the youngsters like Ndakwi and flipping... Who's the other one that we bought?
Talon Noor.
One of them will be 5th choice, should I bet?
And this is why I keep on saying it. The risk is high because I keep on getting told... Like, again, I'll ask the question. Arsenal's 4 centre-backs, they're way above ours.
Yeah.
Man City's way above ours. There's an argument right now, as we're sitting here right now, that Spurs' 4 centre-backs are better than ours.
But Carl, we do this every single year at Liverpool. Do you know what happens over the years?
Is that not a worry? Does that not worry anyone, or is it just
Carl,
me?
hear this. Couple of years, or how many years ago now, whatever, the midfield. Remember when all of our midfielders all aged at the same, obviously like they're all aged at a point where we had to replace all of them in one window. The same thing has now happened for the centre-back situation, but different players have left, whatever. But it's the same thing. It's like we needed a whole revamp of the centre-back situation. We needed a revamp of the winger situation. We always leave it until the player leaves, and then we go, how are we going to replace them? Like you've been saying for time, and I know Sam said it, Tom said it. What Liverpool have to stop doing is waiting for the player to leave and then go, all right, what are we going to do about that now? Why can't we do these things while the players are still here? Now, I'm not saying complete overhauls, but you see, when you've got players like a McAllister, who you think to yourself, all right, cool. If we can see from the data perspective that he might be on a slight decline, maybe we've got to bring in someone. A bit like how when we knew Genie was leaving, but Liverpool brought in Thiago. You see, like you keep it rolling. A conveyor belt, but we don't never do the conveyor belt stuff. It's so jarring.
I'll be honest. I do think they've got a new plan for the succession planning at Liverpool long term. It's just going to be their focus for succession planning is mainly going to be getting these really high promising youngsters from other academies, bringing them to our academy at 15, 16, letting them develop in our system for 2-3 years, and then trying to integrate them into the squad potentially, rather than. I think that's the way they want to go with the youth recruitment. I think that's why they're working so heavily on it. Maybe I'm not too worried at this point in time. Maybe that's just, maybe
You're
I'm
not
naive
worried?
to that. I'm not worried
You're not
yet.
worried about the centre back situation.
No, I'm. The ideas worry me, but the situation, I'm not worried. I'm not
Tom, the
panicking
season
yet. Should I
starts
say?
in a month, literally. Like,
Yeah, I know the season starts in a month. We're not the only club to have made few signings.
No, I hear that, Tom.
I'm not worried that we're not going to do business.
so what do you
That's my
expect of
case.
Liverpool then? Top 5 and good football.
Yeah, what's your expectation in terms of like
Next
where
season?
Because when push comes to shove, if someone asks me right now who I think is going to win the league, I'm going to say Arsenal, and then people in the chat are going to go like, "You're glazing," but that's the reality.
Yeah.
For me, I think a successful season next season would be something like what Klopp did in his last year, if you remember. A solid third place
all
finish,
off, and then win a domestic.
Win a domestic, and rather than Europa League, have a good run in the Champions League. Showcase your quality in the Champions League, reach the quarters of the Champions League, the semis of the Champions League, something like that. Because we are always historically a good team in the Champions League like that. So that's for me what I'm expecting. I'm also not ruling out though that if things fall our way, it can be a mad season. Because I do think that the bones of this squad, the core of this squad, there is still an awful lot there. And I just think that it was so misused under Arne Slot that it's damaged the perceptions of a lot of players that I think just need an environment and a setup and a system like Iraola's to return back to those high levels.
I understand what you're
that's
saying,
what I think
Tom,
it needs to be.
But coaching, in my opinion, can only go so far with the players that you have. You could coach your ass off, but obviously, the level of player,
players.
Yeah, the level of play that we have. Like, so I'll give you an example. Right now, our starting 11 would be, if I quickly name it, it'll be Alisson in goal, Conor Bradley if he's fit at right back.
Frimpong. We got to go Frimpong, man.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we've got to be realistic. Yeah.
Right now, I'll have Alisson, Frimpong, Jake, Van Dijk, Kerkez, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Rio, Wirtz, Munoz, Isak.
By the way, Callum, this is exactly why. When you guys were arguing, I'm in the middle between you both. This is exactly why I wouldn't sell anyone. Now, for me, as things stand today, the door to selling players at Liverpool would be completely closed. If I'm the sporting director, I'm not picking up a single phone call. I don't care if people are offering like 150 million. Like, I'm not selling anyone.
Would you not get rid of at least Endo and Chiesa though?
Those are irrelevant players.
Yeah,
That's like the broccolini on the plate. I don't care. I'm saying like the current players. I'm just not gonna sell anyone. I just don't. We think we have the capacity to sell players. We just don't. Like I get it. Oh, McAllister's legs are gone. Go get this guy. Gakpo's not good enough. Go get this guy. But I just think the core thing that Tom's talking about, like in terms of experience in a title running, if we sell all these players, we don't have that experience then.
But I think you'd be happy if we not sell all the players, but I think where I slightly different, you want to sell some, but you're replacing every single one. I'm not talking about you sell 4 players and only bring in 2, because we've done that too many times and we leave ourselves short, Hassan. What I'm saying is, let's say, for example, we sold Endo, Curtis Jones, Gakpo, and Chiesa. I expect every single one of those players sold to be replaced by players that are better than every single one that we just sold. That's what I'll be expecting.
And again, we speak about experience. Manu Kone is playing in a World Cup now. Yeah. That's about as high as you can get.
Happily.
So, like, when we speak about experience, again, I know some of them wouldn't have Prem experience, etc., but some of them would have Champions League experience. Some of them would have international experience. So, and again, the whole Prem proven thing, I think, can be overplayed sometimes, because we see players move from different clubs in the Premier League and flop, and we see players from abroad come to the Premier League and flop. I have to look at my competition. And Tom, you said this key point that not a lot of other clubs have done much. With all due respect, going into the summer window, Arsenal didn't have to do much. Man City didn't have to do much. Man United, you could arguably say, did have to do quite a bit, but they're actually working on deals and doing said deals. We had a lot to do going into summer. We barely scratched the surface. Spurs had a lot to do, and they've started the summer window extremely well. Whether they continue or not remains to be seen. Chelsea, they've got a lot to do, haven't really done much. So when you look at what
I would argue City had a bit to do. I'd say Arsenal only really needs to add 2 positions. I think City need a little bit more than that.
All right, but look, City have been building their team for a while now. Even in January with the players that they bought in Semenyo and Guehi, they if we had bought 2 players in January, we're not sitting here as panicked as we are now. But again, we didn't do that. But again, to look at City's squad, they've got 2 left backs. Yeah, I think they need to add a right back. Their centre backs are sorted. They've just bought Elliot Anderson that replaces Bernardo Silva, and they've still got Rodri and Nico Gonzalez, and so they maybe need to add one more hybrid midfielder in the
They still got him.
So they might only need 2 players for the squad.
Yes,
I think
and they've got the best forward line in the league as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've got way more shopping to do than Man City.
So that's 2 players, Tom. Sorry to cut you, Tom. Real quick, I'm gonna go through. So Man City 2 players. Arsenal, you could arguably say, need a left winger and maybe another midfielder. But if they get a left winger, then it means they might still be all right in midfield because people like Mikel Merino and all that can still play midfield. Maybe one other attacker. That means Havertz can opt between playing 10 and whatever. So Arsenal might need 1
or 3 each, basically.
Yeah, 2 less. City and Arsenal 2/3 each. Man United, they've just bought 2 midfielders. Let's say they probably need 1 more midfielder, 1 centre back, maybe one more attacker. Again, and I'm saying this about Man United because I'm not expecting Man United to challenge for the league next season. But I'm expecting them to build on what they've done last season. So 3 players for them. Chelsea need a hell of a lot. Chelsea need more than what we need. Aston Villa, they probably need quite a bit as well.
However, consider for Chelsea, they play once a week. So they can take that risk and not have a full-on squad.
Exactly. So Chelsea might just need 16 top players rather than a 25-man squad. And they've still got players.
Best case scenario for us, we play 70 games. Best case scenario for them, they play like 650 games.
So that's why I say, Tom, when I hear the argument of other teams ain't really done much, other teams don't need to do much. Arsenal aren't sitting there going, we need to bolster out our squad. They did that last summer when they bought players like Norgard and Kepa, and we all laughed and was like, Kepa. But it worked out for them. Whether it works out again, we'll see, innit? But right now, I'm looking at players and I'm saying we need players for the starting 11, like a few players for the starting 11. Whereas Man City and Arsenal going, if we get a player for the starting 11, calm.
So how many players do you think needs to be added to our starting 11 from last season?
It depends what the expectations are. What are the expectations?
I don't know if your expectations differ to mine. Like I said, I think a season like what we had in Klopp's last one should be the aim for Liverpool.
So comfortably finish 3rd and win at least 1 domestic cup.
Just win a cup. You could go all the way in the Champions League. It's a big one, or it could be a Carabao Cup.
Yeah, I guess just say a trophy. I guess it's just a trophy.
Okay, so 1 trophy and comfortably finish 3rd in the league. I think we need a starting right back, a starting centre back, a starting 6, and a starting right winger. 4 players minimum for the starting 11. And I'd even argue a starting left winger because I don't think Gakpo's that guy either. And I think it's a lot to say Rio is going to be the starter for a whole season as well.
So I guess that's where we differ a bit, isn't it? Because I think that Xhaka, I mean, if you class Xhaka as a new sign, then we're going to agree that it needs to be a new guy, but I think he's here already type thing. I wouldn't buy another starting centre-back if you get me. I think
but then, Tom, you know what I'm going to ask you, Xhaka. What is the evidence to suggest that Xhaka is going to be the guy that can help? Next, again, bear in mind that all the stuff around Frimpong will be playing right back, and he hasn't really proven himself a right back. Virgil van Dijk's a year older off the back of a full season of playing and the World Cup, and we have no DM in front of him.
I think Xhaka is going to be class. I just think he's need adaptation. That's what he's going to need. Just like
I'm going to back him, Cal, based on what I've seen.
What's his name, Tom? The Man City one that they got a couple of seasons.
Kusanov.
Look how good he is now, but look at the adaptation that he needed. The same thing will be expected of Xhaka. You're going to need adaptation. There's another centre back that's quite young. who needed the same
Victor
thing.
Hayes.
Even Euro. There's like I don't know many centre backs.
There is a difference for me between those situations in terms of Kusanov. When we say Kusanov needed adaptation, Kusanov had a really shit debut, but was actually all right from that point onwards. Like he didn't need this. It wasn't like for the first 6 months he was crap.
No,
he had a bad debut.
They don't understand.
It was who he was. He didn't have a partner. So Kusanov came into City in a really shit situation. Joao came into United in a really shit situation. Jackie's coming into Liverpool, and yes, you cannot question whether Frimpong is good enough defensively. But the one thing Jackie is getting is the best centre back partner that any of them
I'm glad you said that. But again, you're relying on, and again, I understand why you would.
He's not the peak of his
How
powers.
did you not know that Virgil van Dijk might not even be able to hit the same level he did last year? Or he just picks up a little niggle. Because wait. Then you're asking, no. But then you're asking Jacquet. Let's say Virgil has to have, even if Virgil misses 5 games. Do you know how different the defense looks without a Virgil there? So then you've got to throw in someone else now with Jacquet. That's why I'm on the agreement with Carl. We need an experienced centre back just to help out, even if it means Jacquet will still play games, but you're helping him. It's adaptation. He can play when he needs to. Like he'll get better. I feel like it's a lot to throw in a Liverpool style level, expect him just to be cold straight away.
Also, sorry, really, before you go really quick, Tom, because this leads into what Matt's saying as well. Before Man United signed Euro, he played 32 games in Liga and 7 Europa League games. And he's now been at Man United 2 seasons, played 21 in his first season in the league and 32 last season. And they still don't see him as a starter.
Yes, and Lenny Euro ain't even good enough now anyway.
And that's my point. So if we're signing Jacquet off the back of, I think he's played 37 Liga games spread across 3 years. 37. And this is the first season where everyone's starting to take note. How are we putting all of our eggs in the basket going, yeah, he's cool. Plus, he's just come off the back of an injury as well.
It's not putting all your eggs in that basket. You should sign another centre-back. But my thing, as it has been, because we have this same discussion on every single fucking show because there's no news, I don't see the point, or me personally, based on what I've seen about Jacquet and his skill set, I think his skill set is a better fit than most guys you put towards me. So Maxence Lacroix is the name that gets put forwards constantly. Iraola's system at Vallecano and at Bournemouth was built around your 2 centre-backs being unbelievable progressors of the ball. Now, Jacquet at Stade Rennes is an unbelievable progressor of the ball. His passing and his carrying near the top for centre-backs. Lacroix isn't that. So my thing is, yes, he's got more experience.
That's one side of the game, though. You're just looking at the one side of the game.
What's his defensive side like?
Clearly fucking good if we want to buy him for that much money.
No.
Good if all these other teams wanted to buy him. I think...
Yeah.
I'm
not saying you can't
defend. Keep going
defend.
round in circles here. My thing is, last season, my big gripe was teams... When we talked about Canate's problems last year, because Canate was not good last year. I think we all agree on that, regardless if we think people were harsh on him or not, which they were at points. He was not. He did not have a good year last year.
Right.
Where was he getting targeted the most?
In the channels. And
I would say he was getting.
What are you talking about?
From teams pressing.
They wanted to give him the ball because they knew he could. He was the weak point in that defense. Now, listening to Iraola today, he's gone about. He wants to control the games. He wants to be penning teams back. He wants to be keeping them pinned back. In that case, you need a centre-back who is comfortable and strong on the ball. Now, Jacquet, I think, even if you think he's not as good defensively as Canate, he is still good defensively. And he needs to play to develop that. But I don't think you're going to get another centre-back.
Really quick, Tom. Really quick. I hear what you're saying. I think one thing that is blown out of proportion here is Canate is playing out from the back. And I think everyone looks at that Man City game where Pep literally set up to go give Canate the ball and hear me out.
That was the most extreme example, but it wasn't just that one.
Even statistically, it wasn't even as bad as you think. Even statistically.
No, that's what I was going to say. Statistically, it wasn't either. But here's the killer as well. Who did Canate have to pass to in the system? Because even in the same game, Virgil was giving away the ball and going long as well. Do you know why? Because we didn't have a midfielder who stood up and went, pass me the ball, I'll get us out of this. Man City have a Rodri. As much as people laugh at him and all this, Arsenal have a Declan Rice and a Zubimendi. Where's the midfielder who goes, pass me the ball? I don't care about someone.
Curtis Jones was the only one, Cal.
Exactly. So everyone
goes to the
talks
centre
about,
backs. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. I'll make an angle for you to get to receive the ball.
Like, what did he
and McAllister are hiding.
And if we're using the notion that we bought him, so it must be good, then Konate must be brilliant because he's just gone to Real Madrid.
Yeah. I know Konate is good. I'm not someone who will downplay Konate's quality.
No. I don't even.
My thing is, I look at Xhaka and I see all the archetypes of the modern centre back, and I think that when you look at the situation and the way that Iraola wants to play and his skill set as a manager, this is the same manager who developed Zabani, Huijsen, Senesi, all in the space of 2 years. He turned them all into centre backs who could go and play at the very top level of the game. I would trust him to work with Xhaka. Now, the notion that you don't buy a centre back is wrong. You have to go and buy a centre back. My thing has been, I would rather it be a backup to Van Dijk than a starter in the place of Xhaka, because then I still think you're not getting the opportunity to rest Van Dijk. Because if you want to rest him in that case, you're playing one of the centre backs out of position.
Hence why I said 2. I've got to laugh that for it.
So then you're wanting to sell Gomes in that case, aren't you? You want to sell Gomes?
You know what I've said, but everyone.
You want to loan out Leone? Sorry, Leone. You want to loan out Leone?
Loan out Leone.
That was it. I don't want to loan out Leone. And with considering that Iraola said he's still injured, and he won't get much of a preseason, I would rather he stays this year. I'd rather he stays this year and works at the club than go out on loan at the end of the window with no preseason and then be just hung out to dry.
So hold on, Matt. So if that's the case, then let's say Leone isn't going to be fit until like September, but he's not going to get a preseason, and we're not going to loan him out. Then he plays under 21s. Then he plays under 21s, and
he plays rotation. He plays backup minutes.
How can he play backup minutes when he only have a preseason?
Because that is his preseason. If you loan Leone out with no preseason and he goes to
all right, no, I'm saying I'm changing my tune based on what Iraola said about him not being fit. I'm not even having him in and around the first team until March time then, because he needs a preseason. Hear me out, Tom.
How long a preseason does he need?
Brother, he needs a All right, if he's gonna. All right, we saw what happened to Isak last season. Isak was getting good amount of game time. If Leone hasn't played any real football,
big difference, Cal.
Leone hasn't played football for the last 2 years effectively. Sorry, for the last season. So the last season, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the season before that, he played 17 games.
Yeah.
So he was out for the whole season. He's not going to have a preseason. Wouldn't it be better for him to have his own personal preseason? Then he plays for the under 21s until January, February, maybe, and then we integrate him into the first team in March. Why is that so crazy, considering he's coming back off the back of an ACL injury?
So your example was Isak.
Because at least then he's getting game time. At least then he's getting regular minutes. He's not going to get game time.
He would get. So the big thing is you're using Isak. And what happened last season? Arne Slot's training intensity was fucking garbage. It has been reported by how many journalists that they didn't train. When they trained, it was for 20 minutes. And when they trained, it wasn't intense. So
and the
Isak coming
back from an ACL injury, going into an intense training is going to be tough on the body.
He's not going to be dropped in the deep end. The difference was Isak come in. He started there. And the training was there. So all Isak ever got up to was there, because Slot's big thing was pre-season, I get you to there, and all we do is just manage it at that point. But the guys who didn't get to there in pre-season are fucked. So who were the main culprits of that last season? Alexander Isak and Alexis McAllister. The two of them had broken up or limited pre-seasons, and they never got up to speed in the season, because the intensity in the training wasn't there. Now, I look at Iraola and I listen to how the Bournemouth players talk about his training. His training intensity is there. He wants to train to a high level. And it's about getting to there, and then we train at that level. So if Leone comes in, having no preseason, and starts there, but training is there, he will get to there rather than get to there and be stuck behind everyone else there. He will get up to there. So I would rather he stays within the squad, settles in, works with the new manager. Maybe, Cal, you know what it is? We could be the best of both worlds. He stays for the first half of the season, recovers here, gets backup minutes, plays a couple of cup games, plays a couple of Premier League games, and then once you know he's fit and he's sharp and he's ready to go, loan him out for the second half of the season if needs be. But I don't see the point now in loaning him out at the start of the season when he'll have no preseason. So he's going to a new club and he's fucked.
I said that. I said bring him, keep him at the club, and he has his own preseason.
But I don't think it would take 3 months for him to have that preseason. If he comes back and he's fit for training,
it's match fitness as well. It's match fitness as well. He has to have sharpness.
He doesn't need 3 months to get the match sharpness either.
1 season for preseason and 2 months for match sharpness.
You don't need 2 months for match sharpness.
He's been out for a whole year.
I get that, Cal. I get that. He doesn't need 2 months for that. He doesn't need 2 months for that.
Have you seen players come back from ACL, bro?
Yes.
And you don't think they need 2 months to regain sharpness?
No. Look at all our players who come back from an ACL.
Who's that?
Virgil van Dijk.
He's a unicorn. Go on.
Okay.
Hold on, wait a minute. Virgil van Dijk went into pre-season fully fit, by the way. But go on.
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Oxlade came back the same, yeah? Hold on, wait.
You asked about match sharpness, not about whether they come back the same ability-wise. You said match sharpness. Oxlade-Chamberlain comes back.
An example of match fitness, coming back straight away.
He played the next season after he got injured. And it was right at the end because he got injured at the end of the season before. Once he got to the next season, he was sharp. He was there. He was fit.
Brother, he got injured in the April, if I'm not mistaken, or the May in the 17-18 season. He came back towards the end of the 18-9 season, didn't play that much, and then played again in the 19-20 season after another pre-season. Come on, man. What are we doing there? Let's not rewrite history.
So the idea that you think it takes like 3 months once you're back in training from an ACL to play in a Premier League game is mad to me. It won't take 3 months.
If you're going to play for Liverpool, it is. All right, Tom, check it. You're sitting there telling me we nurse him back and then we send him out on loan maybe in January.
If you need him to play, yeah.
So don't we still need 2 centre-backs then?
I wouldn't loan him out. I said that's the best of your case in both worlds. I want to keep Leone at the football club. I think he's great. I'd rather keep him. So I'd have him. Let's say he comes back in September. I'd have him training in September, getting his fitness up in September. September's his preseason month, and then from October we start getting him minutes with the first team. He plays in the cup game. He gets minutes off the bench in a Premier League game. He gets his sharpness up there because he's going to get more sharpness playing 60 minutes for the first team than 2 games for the under 21s because the intensity is different.
You tell me, how often do we sub on centre-backs in games? In fact, do tell me, how often are centre-backs subbed on and off in games? Oh, no, I'm not even taking a mick here. Just genuine question. How often does that happen? I'm not talking about Slot, who did the whole Gravenberch at centre-back situation and all that nonsense.
No, because it's different under every manager, isn't it?
So I've said the basis of how often do managers substitute their centre-backs in Premier League games?
Again, it depends.
Very rarely. Just say it, Tom. It's very rare. It's very
rare.
Because
there are some managers that do that.
Tom, it's very rare that managers substitute their centre-backs in Premier League matches. It is very rare.
So then, if you just want him to play with the under 21s, then because he's not going to come on a Premier League game, so he'll get his minutes in the cup. He could play in the Champions League. He could play in a group game in the Champions League. He could start a Premier League game and come off in that game because then you get your excuse for making the sub rather than subbing him on. But the idea that I just don't see the point I don't see the point in him. If he's back in training in September, I don't see how it makes sense to not see him play until February because he's got to play with the under-21 to get match sharpness. I would rather he's back in the first team from October and we get his sharpness up that way. If you need to accommodate him for a month where you make 4 subs in a game, you're 3-1 up with 15 minutes to go, fuck it, get Leone on. Do that. That's better than 3 games with the under-21s under a different manager with a lower intensity and less quality.
And then we now have to factor in the fact of who are the other 3 centre-backs of the club. Joe Gomes, who we don't know what his availability is going to be like because history suggests that his availability...
I want to buy another centre-back. I want to buy one.
This genuinely feels like deja vu from last summer.
Cal, because we do the same thing every week. We do the same thing.
I'm not talking about... This feels like deja vu from last summer when I spoke about the whole centre-back situation. It feels like deja vu. There's no point in me saying it. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But history suggests that Joe Gomes is going to get injured. History suggests Virgil van Dijk's probably not going to have a great season. History suggests that we're sitting there saying that Leone's great when we haven't really seen him play. And history suggests that we're saying Xhaka is great when we've barely seen him play. And guess what? Xhaka and Leone are both coming off bad injuries. Like, come on, man. Like, on a real, like, are we Liverpool trying to win stuff and compete? Or are we Liverpool trying to nurse players back and do, let's take our time with stuff? Like, what is it? Because if that's the case, I don't want to hear anyone.
That's the question that asked at the start of the stream.
I don't want to hear
will help us figure out all this stuff.
I don't want to hear anyone who's saying this is fine right now to go, yeah, I don't want to, I don't care about next season then. Because if we're sitting there saying, cool, right off the season effectively, then you're written off 1 season for Andoni Iraola and you're written off a season for Virgil van Dijk and Alisson, who, guess what? Their contracts expire next season as well. So guess what? If Mamadash really doesn't do well next season, we're going to need a new goalkeeper. And if Xhaka and Leone and Gomes aren't what we hope they are, then guess what? We're going to need 2 or 3 centre-backs. So I might sit here and sound like I'm just miserable and spoiled. But when I break down stuff and I'm actually showing what I'm saying, not just for the sake of it, then what is it?
Has any of you here watched the Iraola press conference? Who here watched it?
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't watched it. No.
Okay, we'll speak about it now next. Let me just do these supers, then we're gonna carry on the stream. Guys, we have 1,000 people in here. We're not even at 300 likes yet. Can you find your little bit of shame and decorum? Everyone, please hit the like button and subscribe right now. Every single one of you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The link is in the pinned comment. And go subscribe to all the channels. All the links are in the description, So please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Would you take Kovacic for experience?
No, because he's injury
Kovacic is too injury prone.
Injury prone for us.
Too injury prone. Never fit.
Also, I have my experience in the midfield. That's probably the area with the most experience in the team in general, the midfield. I don't need to add a midfielder for experience.
Yeah, I wouldn't take him. Continuity only works if the profiles are correct, which doesn't work with McAllister, Jones, Endo, Sangare, Boadi, Andres. I think you mean Andre from Wolves are much better profiles. Continuity.
That's not necessarily true though.
It's the Andreas from Stuttgart.
Curtis Jones is a good profile for an Andoni Iraola system. The only one who isn't a great profile for an Iraola system is Endo and maybe McAllister if his fitness is like last season. If his fitness is like the first season on the slot, he works perfectly fine in the Iraola midfield. Again, a lot of my judgment at this point in time is I think every single player was hamstrung by that manager last year in different ways. The setup of the team, the way training was handled so they couldn't get sharpness and fitness up after injuries or after no preseason. A lot of that is factoring into how I'm looking at this squad and going, I don't want to let go of these guys. I want to see Iraola work with them. Because the worst thing, I don't want to be doing next year. We go into next summer and we're sitting there going, oh, we need to get a midfielder in. And then we're going, fucking hell. Curtis Jones had a blinding season for Nottingham Forest or Aston Villa, didn't he? He was great for them. If only we had him. Could have been useful last season. That's what I don't want to do. I would rather have them, figure out if they work or not, and then move them on. Then move them on. Never know if they work or not, and always live in that what if of, Curtis Jones could have been fucking perfect for what we need because of his quality of passing, his ball progression, his work rate, his flexibility. McAllister could have been perfect for what we needed because Iraola wanted one of his midfielders to crash the box. McAllister's brilliant at that. He wanted one of his midfielders to be able to drop into the final third and be a bit of a playmaker. McAllister's perfect for that. I'd rather Iraola has the squad and then he figures out who he doesn't need than has it taken away before he figures out if he needs them or not. That's my standing with it.
If McAllister's going to play in the pivot for Liverpool next season, then Wirtz can't play in the 10.
That's a separate discussion. It could be a case where Wirtz has to go out onto the left or something. Who knows?
Wirtz out on the left.
But we
Wirtz on the left.
You need to let the manager
Wirtz on the left, Minty
figure
on
it
the right.
out. You need to let the manager figure it out.
I don't think people realize the reason why McAllister works so well in the pivot. Obviously, he had a better season, which is better, full stop. Is because Szoboszlai did so much of the dog work to where people were saying he should be the one that sold or he should be the one that sacrificed. Because you know why? Because we look at a 10 and go, he's meant to be the game changer. He's meant to be the one that gets the goals and assists. But Szoboszlai couldn't do that when Grav and Mac were playing in the pivot because he had to do so much defensive work. McAllister was the luxury midfielder out of the three. Just because he wasn't playing in the 10 doesn't mean he wasn't a luxury. He was brilliant, and he is brilliant, but he was a luxury midfielder. If you've got Wirtz in the 10, you cannot play McAllister in the pivot. It doesn't work. We'll get overrun in midfield for fun. It won't work. It can't work. Unless you go and get me a Kante, and I don't think that exists in the world, then it ain't going to work. You have to pick one of the two. I'm picking
Mac,
right
Gakpo,
now.
Jones, Endo, Tsimikas, Gomes are easy to upgrade on. Arsenal bought 3 starters and 4 squad options and won the league. Upgrading is good. And you said another thing about Arsenal. What good is experience isn't good enough. Wrong profiles can be upgraded on the window. Arsenal had 13 players overhaul last summer. Okay. I went into the Arsenal transfers, yeah? Because honestly, which ones actually were relevant to the team? These are the players that Arsenal sold in last summer. Nuno Tavares, Marquinhos, Kivior, Lon Nwaneri, Zinchenko, Sambi Lokonga, Partey, Tierney, Jorginho, Fabio Vieira, Karl Hein, and Tomiyasu, and they ended the loans of Raheem Sterling and Neto. Objectively speaking, the only significant players they sold there or like got rid of were probably Thomas Partey and Jorginho. The rest all didn't play. So when we're talking about overhauling players and selling players, about 7 of them were all like non-existent. And in terms of players that they bought in, Zubimendi, Eze, Gyökeres, Madueke, Mosquera, Norgard, Kepa, and Hinchcapia. Out of all these players, the only one that was a starter in the team is Zubimendi. The difference with Arsenal is they had their core intact. Their core of Raya, Saliba, Gabriel, Rice, Saka, 5-6 players, the core was still there. That's what Chelsea did in the mid-2000s. They kept those core 5-6 players and then upgraded around that. Petr Cech, Ashley Cole, John Terry, Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba, blah, 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 and then upgraded the players around that. My thing is, who is the core at Liverpool right now?
Here's the thing though with that.
Who's the core at Liverpool, Karim? Who?
There isn't really a core, but with the Chelsea example, I hear what you're saying, but when all those players left, how long did it take them for them to bounce back?
What do you mean? Say
When
that again,
when the Chelsea core left, it took them a little while to bounce back, right?
It took them 4 years to win the league again.
So that's what I'm saying. So, Rob, I'm not saying you move on the core players, but
who's Liverpool's spine now?
We don't have one.
Who? Van Dijk, Alisson, end of spine.
Yeah.
No,
it's the truth, though, my life.
No.
You're caught between. You're caught between.
I'd say.
All right, Sobo as well. I can't put Isak in and Wirtz in because they have not shown me.
How do you put Szoboszlai in the spine when he's played last season right wing, left wing, pivot?
No, but you know how integral he is to the team in general. Like,
but I'm not talking about being integral. I'm saying the spine of the team.
No,
like you're there guaranteed week in, week out. Who?
No. But
I mean, I'll be sorry, Hassam. If that's your definition for the spine, Wirtz is in there whether you agree or not because he played in the 10 last season for the majority of games.
Wing.
Yeah, he played on the left for a month period. And
A
some
spine player will play in that position regardless of the changes around him for the most part, week in, week out.
But you've
The
also got
reason
to think
why,
about the manager,
listen to the Chelsea example.
The
I
manager,
gave. Petr
again,
Cech,
the
John
manager,
Terry, Ashley Cole, Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba. They always play in the same position, week in, week out.
Yeah, but if you're going to use
That's
it by
their
that
place in the
terminology,
team.
Kirk has always played left back, and
yeah.
McAllister always played in the pivot when he played.
Kirk
So
is not a spine player.
Gravenberch is the definition of a
always
spine.
played, yeah, Grav always played in the
Kirk
pivot.
is not a spine player because he won nothing, and he's
And now we're
No, but
changing the
you're changing
goalposts.
parameters,
Yeah,
though. Yeah, you can't say they didn't win. It's more about
guys. Everyone
are
knows
they-
what I mean with spine. Can we not do this definition stuff?
No, all right, but Hassam,
but
I'll change it then.
spine-
0809, Liverpool's spine was Reina in goal, Carragher, Mascherano, Alonso, Gerrard, and Torres. We didn't win anything there, but we could clearly predict our spine.
Yeah, that was
know
the
our
spine of the team.
Yeah, and the spine of this team is Alisson, Virgil, Grav, Mac, Soberslai, and probably Verts. Because you can't really put any of the strikers there because one of them's
What a
always
shit
injured.
spine!
One of them's always injured, and the other one's now injured.
What a shit spine right there!
I'm just whether you like it or not, that's the spine.
Horrible
No
spine.
attacker.
You made my point. The others were upgraded or no? You didn't. I didn't make your point because you're saying we should sell McAllister and sell Gravenberch, who are part of the spine.
The spine has scoliosis.
Sell Cody Gakpo. So who's left, buddy?
No, but we're talking like we're going to sell them and not replace them. Again, I'll use the example. With all due respect to Cody Gakpo, we know he's a mainstay at Liverpool and has been for the last couple of years. But if I said to you right now, you can sell Cody Gakpo and get Barcola in, is anyone going, we need to keep Gakpo for the experience? Or are we going to go, we should really go in on Barcola because he looks like he's got more of an upside and he's the better footballer?
My argument now will be, why do I need to sell Gakpo to buy Barcola? Because they shouldn't be.
No, but I'm just using it as an example because
I'll be honest, Cal, I'd have a hang up with it. I'd probably still do it, but I'd have a hang up with it because then I've got another thing that I've got to go do, which I shouldn't need to do. My situation is I'm all for replacing these players, but I like in Liverpool right now. We're a house. We're a bit of a rundown house. We've got holes in the roof. We've got a broken window, etc. What I'm not going to do is replace the fucking door that works. What I'm not going to do is try and replace the TV that works before I address the holes in the before I address the broken window, before I address the holes in the roof, before I address the broken fence. I'm not going to sit there and do, that front door that works, I just want a bit of a nicer one. That TV that works, I just want a bit of a bigger one. I'm addressing the holes before I start doing improvements, if you get me. I need to make sure that the baseline level is there before I start doing one in, one out. I need
what would those be for you then? What are the holes in the roof in the squad in your
No, but just quickly, before you even say that, you say how you say the TV works and you don't want to replace the TV. Well, think of it like this. If you don't replace the door that's dodgy, someone will just break in that door and take that TV. Do you get what I'm saying? That's where we're at right now, Tom. So even though the TV works,
that's a situation that could happen.
You see the broken window. Someone could just knock out the window. Take the TV out
that's why I'm fixing the window and fixing the holes before I even talk about.
So what are the fixes then, Tom? Name it in your opinion. What are the
so the areas in the squad that are short are we need, based on where I think Gakpo is going to spend the majority of the season because of Ekitike's injury. We need two wingers. We need a fifth choice midfielder who's actually going to play minutes, and we need a versatile defender who can play centre back and full back. That's what we need. That's the holes in the squad. Then we can start discussion. Well, should we move Leone on for a year and get another centre back in? Should we move Frimpong on and get a right back in? My thing now is, if this squad has to stay together, where are the holes in it? Where are the holes in the squad?
If the squad stays, there is no the whole. By the way, Tom is right as well. If the players stay, we need 4 players. If we sell no one, we need a right back, a centre back, and 2 forwards. If we sell,
so if we sign a so you're telling me we're going to sign a midfielder and not sell any of the
No. In the Tom scenario, we buy 2 forwards and keep them midfield. Same midfield.
No, I would probably buy a midfielder.
Yeah,
But
Tom
is
just
there
said he'd buy a
space in the
midfielder.
squad though?
I
Is
would
that
buy a
actually
midfielder.
space?
So genuine
'Cause
question.
are we
Okay,
doing-
5 players then, no problem.
Are we no? But is there actually space to just like Tom says, keep everyone
Yes.
and just add?
Yes, because if,
Yes.
if you, I'm not factoring in Endo and Chiesa in that situation. They are not part of that squad because they didn't play enough. If you,
I
if you
agree.
move them on, you've got the space.
Okay, that's calm. All right, so let's say you replace Endo with a player that you want, Tom.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just use Joao Gomes now. We've talked about him on the show.
All right, so
Joao
let's say
Gomez
you
comes in.
bring Joao Gomez and Endo goes.
Mhm.
That means you've got Joao Gomez and Bajcetic as the six.
Stop mentioning Bajcetic is not fucking part of it. He's
Stop
not playing.
talking about Bajcetic, Callum. Let it go, man.
He's not
Every
there.
day Bajcetic, bro. Just give
He's
it
not
up,
there.
man.
Hold on, is he not in the squad and a part
This
of the
is
squad?
the third
Right,
season I
Bajcetic
work
is
with
not-
you. You say Bajcetic, but we
No, I'm
haven't
not
seen him
even
once.
trying to take it.
Cal, I can't sit there. I can't sit there, Cal, and go, oh, Bajcetic is part of my squad when I said Endo didn't play enough to be part of my squad.
Yeah,
Bajcetic
allow-
hasn't
But
played
you're
since.
selling Endo. We're not
Let
selling.
it go, bro. Let
I'm
go.
not. I would sell Bajcetic. I think his window's been and gone. I think it's time.
Okay, we didn't say. Okay, we didn't say that.
I
So he's right here.
thought it was obvious because I'm not including it. The only youngster that's part of my squad next year in midfield is Trainioni.
Okay, so
And even
cool.
then, I'd
Are you including Harvey Elliott in your squad then? Are you including Harvey Elliott?
Harvey Elliott for 10. All right, so
I don't know.
check it.
I
I
don't
need to know
know.
where the parameters are at.
I
No,
don't
just
know.
check it. So Tom,
Yeah,
this is your midfield going into next season. Then
Yeah,
it's Joao Gomez, Curtis Jones,
yeah.
Alexis McAllister, Szoboszlai, Graham Birch, and Trainioni, right?
In the pivot, yeah.
In the pivot. An injury to Joao Gomez or a suspension. Who plays in the 6?
Gravenberch.
And you're good with that.
Yeah.
And you're good with telling Curtis Jones.
My gripe with Gravenberch last year was that he wasn't playing the 6. He was playing a fucking pseudo 8/10. He was the most advanced midfielder.
You say to Curtis Jones, I want you to stay, and Curtis Jones says, what's my role in the squad?
Mm-hmm.
Your 5th choice centre midfielder.
He's not 5th choice.
So where is he then?
He's probably my first choice backup.
So who's your starting pivot then?
If I had to start a pivot, it would be Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, and then Wirtz in front. But if we're playing
No, wait.
5 games a season, there's going to have to be the rotation there.
Okay, so Gravenberch and Szoboszlai are your 2 starters. Who's your backup starters then?
Probably Curtis Jones. It would be a full rotation, wouldn't it?
So it'd be Curtis Jones and Joao Gomez then.
It would be probably Joao Gomez, McAllister, and Jones in the 10.
Jones in the 10. Miss me out, bro. What are we doing there?
Okay, guys. Okay.
What are we doing there?
Arsenal
Jones in
already
the 10.
upgraded on Zubimendi with Guimaraes. Zubimendi is not part of their spine, though. You listen? Did you listen to what I said when I said spine? It's the same players that have been there for the last 3-4 years. Raya, Saliba, Gabriel, Rice, Saka. They've built around that. If we're not expecting to win the league, why not overhaul?
Because
And
there is too much uncertainty in the whole club. We have no stability in the club at the minute. We have
why do we
no idea.
Unprepared.
Because the club is we have no idea.
We are unprepared, though, so that's not Tom's fault. That's
We have no idea who is in charge of our transfers next season. We have no idea who's in charge of the club next season in terms of the running of it. Because Mike Gordon's only done this because they haven't got a replacement for Edwards. They're going to try and find someone to fill that role. So we have no idea who the 2 most powerful men in the football club are going to be next season. That is why I'm sitting there now going,
clear.
why
Build
would we
the team around
overhaul?
Szoboszlai. We can't build the team around Szoboszlai. We can't. Because the quality of the other players are much better. Hussam, Arsenal fetish on season 3. Okay, tell me why, who will win the league next season? And explain to me why, or I'm going to ban you. Because people think they can just say dumb shit in the chat. Haytham Hassan, 12 million release clause, backup right winger. Once again, this comes back to my first question. If we do sign Haytham Hassan, don't come tell me you expect Iraola to win the league. Simple as. You've got to be objective with this. Haytham Hassan at Real Oviedo has 0 goals, I think, this season, if I'm not mistaken. I could Google it, but I think he doesn't even... Let me check. I'm going to check.
People doing
For
the
Oviedo.
People doing backup.
Yeah, he's
right
got
wing.
0 goals and 3 assists in 37
So we want the
games.
backup right wings to have no goals, but we ain't even sorted out the first choice right wing. I hear it.
And also, you come here and you say you're the only one that thinks McAllister's been good in the World Cup. No, he has been good in the World Cup. Yesterday, we had a United fan, 2 United fans actually, tell us that McAllister has been Argentina's best midfielder on Ahwa as well, one of the most toxic shows on YouTube.
I think he's been good.
Go on, be edgy. Yeah, it's Paredes, right?
I think Paredes has been good. I think Enzo's been good as well.
Oh my God.
I don't think McAllister's been amazing.
Enzo's been their worst player on the pitch, full stop.
First, your opinion, bro. I'm not gonna go to hell and high water over it. But
Enzo's
we always
been
have this debate. I just think you definitely overrate McAllister.
No problem. I do overrate. Boaddi, Gomes, Gramberg, Soboslai, Nayoni, 6 out of 8. No, not 6.
and 8.
Elliot and by the way, today Iraola actually said he likes the fact that Elliot came back and he's gonna give him a chance, stuff like this, which we'll discuss now.
I read that. Yeah,
I want to talk about the Iraola press conference. I think that's a good enough team, the one that you listed, Noor.
But that has balance. That has balance. That's what I'm talking
mainly
about.
because Buwadi's there.
Yeah, you got 2 6s, you got 2 8s, and then you've got Trainioni, who's the up and coming.
The difference is you don't see Gravenberch as an 8, do you? As a 6. Sorry,
I don't see him as a 6.
I think
he's
that's
not a 6.
I think that's where we've seen the best of him when he's told to be a 6.
Okay, so you're just one of them dumbasses online. Big up. Anyway,
would you play Soba right?
Whatever happened to? Okay, let me just get these two, please, guys, and then we'll.
I'll be honest, Cal. There was like 2 months where I was planning for Soboslai to play right back.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, Sam. Go on, bro.
First, whatever happened to James Redmond? I speak to James every now and then. He's good. I think he's just taking some time off from content. Second, sorry about my comments on Hamza and touchline last night. Third, why we're arguing again over transfers? We will do what we always do: a couple, 2 players short of what we need. Yeah, but like, that's first of all, Ed. When you say why are we talking about transfers, what the hell else you want me to talk about? We aren't playing like any games. We aren't doing anything like. We have to speak about transfers, and like we can only go by what we're linked with and who we're linked with and what we're linked to doing. And I want to speak about what Iraola said in the press conference, Ed, so stick around. It's a different topic other than transfers. Tom said he's fine with Wood, fine, but not this window.
Yeah, cause I don't see the point in if Hughes is going to be here to see the window out. I would rather Hughes went before the window even started if we knew he was going to go. Now that he's here in charge, there's no point in adding more upheaval and getting him gone just to bring in someone else and have them have to try and get their feet settled in and that. Would be a fine replacement. But I don't see the point in replacing him now when you might as well just tell Hughes to see out the rest of his time and then start again in September.
I'd rather Hassan as 12 million backup over Frimpong. Yeah, I hear you. However, I want you to understand something. The backup is not Frimpong. The backup is Munoz right now.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
So, genuine question: who's the backup for Isak?
Gakpo.
So, who's the starting left winger?
Probably
Gakpo.
Rio. Might be Rio.
That's the truth of the squad, Habibi.
No, I'm not laughing at what you're saying. I'm laughing at
the direction of the club. What the hell am I meant to do?
Might be Rio. I don't know. Do you know what? We just got no right-hand side player that's naturally right. Like, there's no one there.
Do you know what that was like, Cal? Remember when we used to do depth charts in like 2020, 2021? It'd just be fucking Milner is the depth in 7
Milner and
positions.
Gomes everywhere.
Like, right, as things currently stand.
Well, my backup is a starter in another position. That's crazy.
You know, we keep
That's
doing, all right, let's just do
what's
starting,
happening.
Starting right now, it's Isak up front. I'm going to take a guess. Whoever has the better preseason, it's either going to be Rio or Gakpo. On the right-hand side, that's just vacant. Even though Munoz can play there, I'm almost certain Munoz is more of a left-sided player as well, isn't he?
I think Munoz, for just this season, I think Munoz, up until Ekitike back, will be Isak's backup.
Munoz up front.
Before
unless Jaden Dance has a brilliant preseason or will right.
Munoz up front. I don't even understand where
Callum, where are you going with this stuff, bro?
Because
Jaden
Gakpo is not a good striker.
Pacetic.
Gakpo is not
Is this
a good
a show from 3 years ago?
Munoz, Cal. Why would you play Munoz over Gakpo up front?
because it's something different, bro. I've
No,
seen gap up top.
no. You're
I've
going
seen
mad.
gap up top. Gap up top doesn't work. Gap
No,
off the left wing up
You know
fine.
how Munoz is. We can't even get Munoz to hold up the ball. What's with the kick it long? What are we gonna do?
We have to do false nine. We have to do false nine. We'll have to do
You
something.
sound like Tom. You sound like Tom when he wanted to do the double false tens all last season.
All right, if that's all right, let's say Gakpo's the backup striker then. That
Yeah,
means
I'd rather
Munoz-
Gakpo than Munoz, bro.
All right, so that means Rio and Munoz are your two left wingers then.
Yeah, but that's implying we're not going to buy a winger. It's quite obvious we're going to buy a winger.
And that's my point. If we buy two wingers, they need to both be right-sided wingers.
I agree, Cal.
I'm just saying, Cal, that's not going to be the case. I'll be honest. The one thing Nonnies has said that I think is more likely to happen, Rio will play a lot on the right this season. That's what will end up happening. Rio will play a lot on the right.
I agree with that as well. Let me ask you guys about
We're going to turn it into Jacob Murphy.
Guys,
We're going to turn it into Jacob Murphy. I hear it.
Let me switch topic just to the Iraola press conference and the stuff that's happened in the press conference. We can talk, you guys locked in. Let's get to 300 likes, please. Every single one of you, please close the live chat and hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram as well. The link is in the pinned comment. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to everyone on the panel. Please close the live chat and like the video because we have over 1,000 people in here and we're not even at 300 likes yet. And it helps the algorithms, it helps the channel out. Big up to everyone who sent in a super chat, everyone who's showing us love. Iraola press conference. I watched bits of it while I was eating my breakfast, and what do you guys think of Iraola's press conference and the direction we're headed in this season in terms of the Magic? Because I know Callum, let me start off with you because I know you watched all of it. I watched the parts as well where he spoke about Harvey Elliott and the fact that he likes his comeback for training and stuff like that. What do you think, Callum?
It was refreshing to hear Iraola speak, and that's because I was so fed up of watching press conferences last season because of the manager who was there. But shall I tell you one thing that really stood out to me was when he was asked a question, obviously Bournemouth and Liverpool, it's a massive step up. How much do you think you need to change? And you just like, look, I know I'm going to have to adapt on certain things. There's going to be things where things are going to be amplified that I say and all that. But it's when he was saying that I don't want to change too much of who I am. And that's what I like because effectively we brought him in as a coach because of who he has been. I don't then want him to be like, oh, I need to completely change who I am for Liverpool now. We need to adapt to him and his philosophies. And if his philosophies and what he's trying to do on the football pitch work, then we have to continue that spell. But as I said, I want him to be given the best chance of succeeding. Because I do believe from a coaching standpoint, from a tactical standpoint, he could be excellent for us.
Yeah, it was nice to hear the manager talk about wanting to be. For me, the biggest bit was him talking about wanting to embrace the city and the culture, something that Arne Slot didn't do. And I think that it's not a coincidence to me that the managers that embrace the culture of the city are the ones fondly remembered. Klopp, Benitez, Houllier. You can go back further. Obviously, Kenny, Shankly, Paisley, the ones that embraced Liverpool, the city, the people, the culture. They're the ones that had success. The ones that try and that don't embrace it or try and change it, they struggle and they fail. So the fact that Iraola is doing that's the best thing I could hear. It's nice as well to hear that he is serious on the transfers. It's not one of the ones where he's going, oh, I can work with what I've got. He's sitting there going, no, we do need to get players and I do need a squad for this. It's nice that that's out there in the open because we can judge the club against that now. We know that the manager isn't just going to sit there and be yes boss, no boss, yes boss, anything you want. He does have a belief and an idea of what he wants.
Did you see one of the most interesting questions where he was asked like, you think you're gonna change a little bit because one of the journalists told him like Bournemouth played 40 games, Liverpool played 57 games. Are you gonna change the stuff that you did in the season? He was like, you can't change everything. The reason why they got me here is because they believe in my principles and my ideas and my philosophies. And I'm just thinking to myself, I love that answer because like he has to change certain things because obviously like when you're playing Champions League football, the training might have to be one or two steps a bit less intense, but obviously we're gonna have
Well,
training.
the thing is as well with Iraola, he wasn't an elite player, but he played at a high level. He started for 13 years
for
at Bilbao, and they played European football more often than not. So he knows what it takes as a player to play 2 times a week. So I think that the idea that it's going to be unknown, he doesn't know how to handle playing 2 times a week, or his players he doesn't know how to manage that. He will do, because he was in that fucking boat. He knows what players need in that situation. That's why he said those 2 games a week are the best points for players, because all it is play, recover, play, recover, play, recover. That's what they want. So that side of it, I'm not too worried about. Could there be some teething problems this season? 100%. But you know what? If he's able to speak like that, if he's able to be as self-aware as that, then I'll be fine with that. It's when I'm getting gassed at by a bald man who's just saying stuff that I know blatantly isn't true.
Hey.
That I struggle with it. Sorry, Brian.
Oh, is this what we're doing?
Whoa.
Oh my god!
Wow. That's what I'm saying.
Anyone seen that film? Wait. Anyone seen that film, Dumb and Dumber? The Jim Carrey, yeah? All right, say less. But anyway.
Tom's actually more toxic than Hassan. I've actually clocked.
Mad toxic, bro.
He is more toxic, definitely.
Your corners will start speaking soon, Tom. Don't worry about that. But anyways,
my corners are fine, mate. Your
corners
started speaking how long ago, didn't they? Jesus Christ.
My corners are gone, but you see your corners, they will be talking.
Again,
you see that you that's starting to appear, that you is gonna be you. Remember, I told you that you will be.
I mean, to be fair, it takes one to know one, doesn't it?
Tom, I didn't lose my hair at 18, bro. I won't go on board at 18, I'll tell you that much. I had a good run, bro. How old are you again, Tom?
24.
You're going bald at 24? Yeah, it's dark.
You think I'm going bald?
It's dark. It's dark, Tom. It gets dark out there.
Look at this, man. Look at this.
Anyways,
my hair is wonderful.
All right, it is.
You've actually become.
It's just. I'm just hating because I'm from you. It's a little bit of jealousy from you. That's all it is.
It is. I'll be real. It is. But no, all jokes aside, I just want to say this about Iraola. Yeah. Even though I haven't seen like the whole press conference, I've read some stuff, and the one thing that stuck out for me is when he goes, especially Liverpool, it's about connecting with the people. I don't think I've ever heard Arne Slot say anything like that.
He didn't want to connect with us. He didn't care about us.
This guy wanted to go on holiday.
He didn't want to live in the city.
No, I know. He didn't want to bring it. And again, I don't
even
know.
Iraola said today, connect with the Liverpool fans.
This is what I'm talking about. So he wants to connect with the fans. He wants to embrace himself to the city. I obviously don't live in Liverpool. Tom does. I don't know whether you ever saw an Arne Slot. You're not gonna.
Arne Slot. He was there in his first week. He had a meal in a restaurant in his first week, and I don't think anyone ever saw him again.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to say you have to do these things, but these are the things that won the fans over when it was Jurgen Klopp. Bro, you could probably walk somewhere and see him.
Oh no, I'm wrong. He was in Liverpool. He was in Liverpool the second time. He had another meal when Salah and Robbo were going.
Oh, fair.
That was it.
He showed up for the meals and that. I hear it.
That was it.
But my point is this year. I like the fact that he's taking this approach and he understands, he gets it. He also spoke about like the goal that Chiesa scored last season. You could fill the stadium, and I would love to have this. Like, these are the things that he's talking about, passion. And Liverpool is a very passionate club. We've said this so many times. What it means to us, why we always say that we're different, and the slogan is "It means more." There's a reason why we say this as fans. He just gets it. He understands it. And another thing as well is, I think he's smart enough to understand that coaching a team like Liverpool, you're not going to get many days where you get to train like he was at Bournemouth. He understands that that from 1 minute you're going to be playing game on a Sunday, then you might get one training day, then you're playing again on Wednesday. He knows the schedule is going to be tough, but it seems like he's inviting on that pressure, and I think that pressure is going to actually work wonders for him, because I think he's going to embrace it, and it also seems like he's willing to give players a chance as well. I think he's being very careful with what he's saying. Like, even with the Harvey Elliott stuff, that's only a positive thing that you can say for a player that wasn't given a chance on loan. And he's basically saying, listen, he's back with us. Let's see what he's like. And if he's able to do some stuff, then we can see what I'll go on with him. Do you get what I'm saying? So I like that from Iraola. And like Carl said as well, like a different voice. And just hearing that old brother speak about stuff used to jar me. Like, even Slot's voice just jarred me, bro. It got to that point where I didn't even hear him speak. hearing Iraola speak now is refreshing, brother. And
It,
yeah, man,
it,
this is
it was a
trying
little
to-
bit weird to have a press conference where PSG weren't mentioned, to be fair.
Yeah, even that as well, innit? Do you know what I mean? So,
But
yeah,
the Harvey Elliott thing is interesting to me because you go back to the way Slot was with it last season. It was very obvious from October that Harvey Elliott wasn't going to play for Villa. They made it clear he wasn't in the matchday squad. And yet Arnie Slot insisted on saying he's no longer our player. I'm not speaking about someone who's not our player. But Iraola spoke about him with a degree of warmth and appreciation for what he was. So I think that, again, it's that side of the man management which I think can help as well. And we needed something different, and we needed someone to stand by the principles, and their principles being the attacking footy. And Iraola had everything you wanted to hear. Now, managers can do that. Managers can say that and then do differently. But it's a good start.
Yeah.
It's a good start.
And one thing he said as well, last thing I'll say as well, like in terms of expectation, this is what he said. He goes, I think we have to accept there are difficult situations right now in terms of both sides. A lot of senior players leaving, players who have achieved everything here, and also some important players injured. TK, Bradley, Leone, long injuries. So we have to replace important players making good numbers, and those 3 injuries that will miss some time. We have to find a way to replace them. These 3, they are long-term solutions, but there will be, in this case and period, where we are without them. So we need solutions. So I'm glad that he understands, like, all right, we've lost top players like Salah, like Robbo, like Kanate. He understands that. And he's also speaking about the injuries. So he's not fooled in terms of like what he thinks he has at the squad. He knows, and has probably said, because he spoke about the transfers as well, the club are working on it. And that's what I like to see as well.
It's why I'm not worried.
For me, is I feel bad for Iraola because I feel like the situation at Liverpool right now is so toxic.
I mean, this is the first new manager to do his first press conference without a senior member of the club hierarchy that I can remember.
Yeah.
Oh, was no one there?
No, it was just Iraola on his own.
Raw. Okay.
Yeah,
it's normally the director of football.
Chief executive for something, a minute, like a Richard Hughes.
Yeah, so Richard Hughes did Slot's one. Ian Ayre did Klopp's one.
Yeah.
I think Ian Ayre did Rodgers' one as well.
Remember Ian Ayre, the documentary when he was driving his motorcycle around?
I just remember Ian Ayre flying out to Ukraine on deadline day to sign Conor Playanka. When Conor Playanka didn't know we wanted to fucking sign him, he just turned up in Ukraine and went, "You're right, lad." And Conor Playanka went, "No, I don't want to join you." So we just wasted deadline day signing fucking no one because Ian Ayre went, "You know what? If I just turn up, he'll go." Fucking
guys, are we in a mess?
Well, is that a bad look that no, like Tom said, no senior person above him was there? Isn't that?
Who could it be though, man?
The director of football.
Bruv, it could have been Mike Gordon, fam. Because remember, if
been.
Richard Hughes goes there, he knows he's going to get asked questions about his future. So
the only thing I can think is that he didn't want anyone there. So the questions weren't directed to them. It didn't become the FSG press conference. They wanted to be the Iraola one.
But Mike Gordon still should have been there, though.
That's the thing, and I just think it's a tough situation for Iraola to be in, but he handled it very well, and
he did, yeah.
It's a good start to what should hopefully be a good tenure. And I like this contract talk again because it speaks to the mentality. He doesn't want to sign long-term contracts. He doesn't want to be comfortable. He doesn't want everyone to just go, "Oh well, you got a contract, so we'll just see it out again," type thing. He wants it to be
a good and a bad
everyone's aligning on what we want to do.
You can see that as a positive, which it is, but also negative. He's just like, well, man's got 2 years. If I F it up, I'm only contracted for 2 years. I can just jet. You have to be careful with the 2 years thing because realistically, with any coach, any manager, you always want long-term success in it. And maybe Liverpool played it smart after.
Yeah, but I think he said something like that in his thing. He said, "I'm only signing a 2-year deal, but I want to be here for many, many, many years."
No, should he have got 3? And that's only 1 more year. Should he have got 3?
He wants to do it on a year by year. If he got his way, if Iraola lived in a perfect world, he'd just sign 1-year contracts every season. That's how he'd operate. He just operate on a year by year thing. Get to the end of the season, go, is everyone happy with what we're doing? Yep, okay, let's do it for another year.
First.
Just gotta get like just got getting full support now, and then hope that the club does what they need to do.
Mhm.
He's saying all the right things. Well, just wait and see now, innit?
Yeah.
Too
It's mad
late.
though,
طيب
because hierarchy's in a disarray. Edwards just kicked up and left. Hughes is literally leaving.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It is bad, the situation we're in, but you do have to think of one thing. We could be Newcastle. We could be Newcastle.
That's very true. That's very
Did you
true.
guys see the whole what's his name? The other
Matt
player they got
Zambi.
rejected.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going Villa
Mazambi.
now, innit?
I can't believe Newcastle got hijacked again.
I can.
Again.
I said this from
No,
last season.
this
The way
is
they
mad.
the way they handled the whole Isak thing. Did they still not have a sporting director either?
No,
Eddie Howe's brethren, his
it's
cousin.
Eddie,
or
it's
nephew.
Eddie Howe's nephew.
There you go. I knew it was
But they
one of
don't.
them. It's
Well,
Eddie Howe's
technically,
nephew.
yeah, that's he's got the job. Whether you think he's good enough or not, he's got the job. He's
Well, I
technically
think-
the sport.
Hey,
Hey,
I
nephew,
think-
we did tomorrow. You going out? I need you to get some players.
Yeah. Do you like?
Nephew, you
Pretty
watching the
obviously
World Cup
I
semi-final?
mean, I don't know if any of you
I don't know if any
of you saw it today.
Mm.
You know our good friend from last summer, Luke Edwards, who kept insisting that Isak's not going to join Liverpool. Well, he put out a thing today saying the reason Arsenal bid for Bruno G was because Amanda Stavely told the intermediaries that if Newcastle don't get Champions League, you can get them for 50 million quid. So Luke Edwards put out that entire article today, and then the owner of Newcastle replied going, "That's bollocks. That's not true."
Oh, dog.
I think you should just quit at this point. Just do something.
Could you imagine if James Pearce put out an article and then John Henry replies to him going,
Yeah,
"You're
that'd
chatting
be
out your
crazy.
arse."
Yeah, if I'm James Pearce, I'm handing my resignation. I'm going to do something else. No credibility.
I'm
Crazy.
shocked he was
I think
still
it'd
the
be
job after
interesting
last
to see what happens at our club in these next 2 to 3 days. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
days.
I love as well comments like this. You know, he's sorting out the transfer. That's why he wasn't at the press conference. Yes, because him being at the press conference for 20 minutes would have stopped the transfer from potentially happening. You know, he was literally on the phone during Iraola's press conference. You know, as soon as Iraola was in front of the mic, he was literally sorting out the transfer at that very second. And had he not been there for 20 minutes, they would have, you know, the transfer would have fallen off. Anyway, guys, make sure you guys are liking, make sure you guys are subscribing. The link to my Instagram is in the pinned comment. Please hit the like button, please subscribe. Sorry, guys, I just get rattled by silly comments sometimes. It just gets to me, you know. It rage baits me, to be honest. So, all the links are in the description. Sanders' show was live 2 days ago for the UFC. You know, Conor McGregor. Hold that, Conor McGregor. It's personal. Tom Little with the one on YouTube, Insta, Twitter, the X. Matt One show, and he actually turned up on a Monday. So let's go, big up Matt. Yesterday, Vel was shocked when I said put Matt on the thumbnail. He's actually shocked. He was like, "Oh no way, the OGs."
Oh,
Ah,
Like,
Vel, allow it, bro.
He actually was. I'm not even taking the piss. He
I
really
know
was. He
Vel
was like-
probably would say that.
Yeah.
Big up Vel.
Vel was shocked. Anyway, love you all. I'm gonna send you guys over to Judge Mo, and peace out, Habibis. Go over there, tell him Hussam Raid. Yalla, love you guys. See you later.
Love peace.